A News 2 crime tracker alert coming at you here. The state of Tennessee now has stricter laws to protect endangered children impacted by drug abuse. Nicole Smith shows us how the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is addressing this issue after the deaths of two small children in Davidson County. News 2 investigates drug-endangered children.
This month marks 1 year since 3-year-old Paris Wilcox was found unresponsive at a home on Saddle Creek Way in Antioch. That baby girl died at a hospital in Smyrna from acute fentanyl intoxication. Her 24-year-old mother, Christina Clark Wilcox, is now charged.
With the accidental exposures, the good thing is we don't see a lot of those. But here's the sad reality to it: it doesn't take a lot to be an issue. It only takes one.
In October 2019, 9-month-old Caden Goldthreet died at a home on Willow Branch Drive in Nashville. Metro Police say his father, Puck Nguyen, known as Tommy, a heroin user, is charged after the baby ingested the highly lethal drug fentanyl while in his custody.
I think it's great that we're looking out for and trying to get folks into treatment, get them off these drugs. We think that's awesome, but we also think it's incredibly important for those potential silent victims out there.
TBI Special Agent Tommy Farmer works to help the children among those silent victims of the drug epidemic as the head of the state's Dangerous Drugs Task Force. He says the issue of drug-endangered children is so present, the state's laws were updated just this month to address the problem.
We did know with methamphetamine, and it was already in there, we had specific statutes with methamphetamine as it was being manufactured, that there were certain elements or harms of the precursors or the process of manufacturing would expose these children to certain hazards.
The legislation that went into effect July 1st increases the penalties for people who knowingly expose children to dangerous drugs like fentanyl, which is a synthetic opioid that's similar to morphine, but it's 50 to 100 times more potent.
It updates because, as we know, some of the controlled substances and what we're dealing with now, predominantly to fentanyl and other Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 controlled substances, it updates the statute. And unfortunately, that's just the world that we're living in right now, where we require something to be updated.
But he says it isn't just fentanyl that's posing a problem for drug-endangered children. It's any drug that's on trend for addicts, including heroin, cocaine, and marijuana.
We're fearful down the road that as we're seeing compounding, oil extractions, indoor grows, and those are other factors that could affect children, or that we are seeing children are exposed to.
Agent Farmer says he's glad to see the work being done to save children exposed to drugs.
The children being lowered to the ground, being a growing young developing person, they were more susceptible.
Still, he says the work is far from over.
We have an addiction issue. I think we're making a lot of progress, but we still have a long way to go. You have to deal with the root cause, and the root cause is not a short-term fix.
Reporting in Nashville, Nicole Smith, News 2.
The parents mentioned in this story will be in court in Nashville later this month, also in September. And later tonight on News 2 at 5, insight into a task force designed to help these children survive and also thrive after being pulled from dangerous conditions.